They say silence is consent. When you don't say nothing, and you permit corruption, when you permit racism, when you commit white supremacy, when you permit that, that's just like going along with it. Silence is consent. So I came to the Supreme Court so we can address this at the Supreme Court. We're going to deal with it in court where you started it at, in court. 2018, 19, 20, ex-felons got the right to vote. We can vote and run for office. We want to address America. You say you want to make America great again? We're going to address America's hate again. All right? We talk about that shit that's coming out in your head that's coming out your mouth. You feel me? Because you need to check that shit. This is freedom of speech. It's the art of protest. It's what I started when I started this. I'm famous for toilets. I'm famous for that shit. We call it potty training politicians. So I'm getting ready to write President Trump a letter to approach the Supreme Court. Because I was making a movie and a documentary about race and racism in America. I'm a black Republican. You feel me? And the movie is about Dred Scott being black and white America. And Governor Hogan is the focus of the movie. That's Governor Hogan. All right? You can read this. Kurt Anderson got it. Senator Broshini got it. It's a movie about racism in America. And Governor Hogan, the movie's all about you. It's about the making of a slave. Willie Lynch. And it's how you use your courts to incarcerate black Maryland. Your state's attorney is your slave catchers. That's your linchpin. That's your legalized slavery. And I didn't leave the media out. The media's all on this. Because like I said, I'm approaching the Supreme Court. And I don't want Baltimore Sun to be left out neither, because y'all participated in this. Y'all created this situation. I was making a movie about Dred Scott, about being black and white America. And it says here, Chief Justice Towning of the Supreme Court, blacks have no rights in which white America respects. So I'm going to the Supreme Court on that case. Out for justice. Yeah, because blacks have rights in America. We are free men when we serve our time. We are free men. So as free men, we need to address that. Because y'all incarcerated us under the 13th Amendment and getting paid off of it. It's the art of getting money. So I'm taking this case to the Supreme Court. I'm taking this case to the Supreme Court. Never let nobody tell you no unless they got the power to tell you yes. Since y'all don't want to give me my property, since y'all don't want to acknowledge that y'all illegally incarcerated me, since y'all don't want to acknowledge that that toilet was a prop for a movie exposing the corruption in our government, I'm going to take it to the Supreme Court. We're going to take it to the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about Keith Davis in the Supreme Court. And Larry Hogan, your name is going to be on every last one of them. We're going to talk about commotion. Because this is proof that I was making a documentary and a movie about you. You feel me? This was proof of it. I'm a political prisoner. And we got mail service receipts. I can prove everything I say. You feel me? I can prove it. Attorney-client privilege. Attorney-client privilege means that I'm going to the Supreme Court because my lawyer refused to defend me with the due diligence of the law. You feel me? And I'm going to show the role that the media play. Silence is consent. And you participated in this. So like I said, I'm without for justice. I'm an unpaid lobbyist. And we're going to show the role that the real news plays in this. Like I said, I go to the Supreme Court. Everything the Department of Justice got, they got to give. Everything that the real news got, they got to give. Because my end game is the United States Congress, the Supreme Court. I want to testify in front of your judiciary committees. I want to talk about mass incarceration in your prison industry. You feel me? I want to do that. And I want to approach the Supreme Court. So the next 365 days, you're going to get a lot of Shorty. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. And they're going to pay attention to me. I got a social media presence. I got truth to my message. There's a method to my madness. So when you see me and I come back to Baltimore, understand what we're talking about. Them toilets are props for a movie there. And they're getting ready to go to the Supreme Court. They're getting ready to go to the Supreme Court. Y'all took me to jail for that toilet. That toilet's going to go to the Supreme Court. These toilets are going to make it to the Supreme Court. Because we're going to put the 13th Amendment to the test. And we're going to put Hogan to the test. Hogan want to talk about how he's helping black Baltimore? No, he's incarcerating black Baltimore. For every one black person Hogan helps, he's incarcerating over 100. So don't get twisted. Don't get fooled. Hogan is not for the black Baltimore. He's not for the black community. But he needs black votes to get reelected. He needs black votes to get reelected. So we're going to show you Jim Crow. We're going to show you the black faces selling out black Baltimore and black Maryland. Pull my card, because I'm going to pull yours. My end game is the Supreme Court. You feel me? My end game is the Supreme Court. I gave you a video back in 2007 about the Lake County Jail, talking about portraits of a letter. Yes. Letters to my president. Yes. Letters to Zion. Yes. These letters were letters written out of jail. I got a jailhouse diary from Illinois and a jailhouse diary from Maryland. And those two jailhouse diaries are going to be submitted to the Supreme Court for my freedom, for my property. I filed a $54 million lawsuit. You locked me up to keep me from filing a lawsuit. I had a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit. You locked me up to keep me from filing a lawsuit. So now we're going to take those lawsuits and my information for the last 13 years to the Supreme Court. Call me crazy, call me what you want, but when you call me to the Supreme Court, don't call me late. When you call me to the Supreme Court, produce all that evidence that I gave you. Because I got the mail receipts. I got the videotapes. I got what I need to go to the Supreme Court. I'm going after your surety bonds. I'm going after your 401ks. I'm going after your money. Because you went after mine. Any lawyers out there? They know what I'm talking about. I got a right to approach the Supreme Court because you refused to return my property. By you refusing, I'm supposed to go to the courts to address those issues. It's called checks and balances. When no part of the government is no stronger than the other. You feel me? Since the state don't want to return my property and the state stole my property, I'm going to have to take the state to court. Just like Dred Scott. You stole Dred Scott. He was property. I'm my own property. I own Shorty's. Self-made. You feel me? So we're going to settle this in court. And you're going to remember this toilet. Until I get my day in court, until my movie comes out. What y'all going to do when the movie comes out? We're talking about the criminalization of poverty and the money that y'all made off of it. We're talking about the politicians that get paid off of it. We're talking about Johnny O and Redmer and the county executives and how y'all incarcerate black Baltimore. They got black people scared to come out to the county because of y'all. And you want to stop housing? You want to do ICE? No. I support Johnny O for county executive. I can't deal with you, dog. You're not good for my community. You don't mean us no good. Period. So like I said, I'm in Washington, D.C. I go wherever I got to go to have that message out. And Hogan, what you gonna do when they see this in the Supreme Court? Because this toilet gonna make it to the Supreme Court. That's Willie Lynch. And that's my letter to Governor Hogan. And that's me and Mayor Pugh. So what you gonna do? Because like I said, that's Governor Hogan. That's Mayor Pugh. I'm gonna show you black faces selling out black Baltimore and dare them to call me a liar. Because like I say, my paperwork in court. I'm without for justice. Check it out. You feel me? We're going to settle this where we started this. And wherever I see you at is where I'm going to treat you at. I can put this toilet right in front of City Hall. So watch what you say. Watch what you do. Y'all made me famous for toilets. I'm going to run with this shit. I'm going to treat y'all's ass like Charlie Brown. I'm going to treat y'all's ass like a fucking clown. And we're going to talk about Keith Davis. We ain't going to leave the captives enslaved. We're going to free Keith Davis. When this go to the Supreme Court, Keith Davis' case going to be included in it. I'm going to uplift those. If I win, we all win. If I lose, we just another dumb nigga. But if I win, you can go to jail. Remember that. You can go to jail. I come to D.C. with them toilets and march down the street. And imagine me standing in the middle of D.C. right on the line. Mic check! It's coming. It's coming.